On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Ced Talks. Thank you guys for joining me. It's on Shady Sports Network, and today we have episode 3. I think this is going to be a fun interview. I have Jeff Smither. He's the owner of Custom Professional Renovations. So hopefully give you guys some advice and talk about, home renovations, things you can do around your house. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and bring Jeff on and go ahead and get started. What is going on, Jeff?
What's up, Ced? Thanks for having me on, man.
Definitely, man. Thanks for being on, my dude. I know we tried it once before. I kind of had some technical difficulties on my end, but we're here today. And like I said, thank you for joining me again to get this on. So like I said, you are the owner of Home Custom Professional Renovations, or Custom Professional Renovations, I should say, rather. So I guess we'll just go ahead and jump into that. If you want to go ahead and just tell us, who you guys are and what you do to start off with.
Yeah, we're an interior remodeling company. We work mostly in the Denver metro, kind of focusing in the South Denver area. We do interior remodeling, bathrooms, kitchens, basements, whatever you need. We always like to do something with a little flair. So we definitely ask what your statement piece is. And that statement piece can be something you've never even thought of or heard of. But we have an in-house designer, does our architectural designs, layouts, and things like that. And she is amazing at helping the homeowners come up with these statement ideas. Hence, the custom part of the name. We like to do things a little one-off. So that's the shtick.
Okay, awesome. And I want to touch back on that custom side a little bit later. But how long have you been in business? How long have you been doing this?
For about 4 years now. Started off doing handyman work and doing good work and taking care of people, and the asks kept getting bigger. Instead of, hey, replace the ceiling fan, it was, hey, remodel my basement, and do a few of those, and word gets out. And again, that kind of South Denver area where we focus at, the word of mouth referral business has been great. So we're fortunate to work in my backyard and just keep taking bigger and better jobs.
I hear you there, man. Speaking of that, you said taking bigger and better jobs. You've been growing for the past 4 years. What do you think, has been one of your major pitfalls or setbacks during your growth?
There's so many. Growing quickly is tough. They talk about growing pains. For me, I tend to do it all by myself. I tend to be a little bit of a control freak. I want to know everything at all times. And that's one thing that you can do when it's just you working for yourself by yourself. But I'm building teams and putting people around me to take some of this workload off. And it's challenging. It's tough to let go of some of those things when you've kind of built it up from the bootstraps. And it is tough. So for me, one of the hardest things is delegating and letting and trusting that other people are going to, live up to the brand and live up to the reputation.
I hear you there, man. I can tell you from experience, the hardest thing is like trying to be like, okay, well, I can't do this. I have to get someone else, because you want to be able to do it all. You want to be able to say you do it all. And I'm learning that as well, like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. There's no I in team, and it takes a team for sure to grow. So I know you're saying when we were talking, you kind of stumbled into this, doing home renovations on your own. And then you kind of just picked it up as you went along. Is there like a job? I mean, I guess I don't want to say, is there a job too small? And I'm deviating from the questions, but what is like one of the smallest jobs you've done for someone? I guess aside from like hanging a picture or TV,
I mean, just that, when I was doing the handyman stuff, I wouldn't say no to anybody. I was building a reputation, building a business. So everybody got a yes. And I took care of every single person, no matter what working hours I won't even talk about, but it was insane. But one of the smallest things turned into one of the biggest things, and it was a bath fan in a bathroom ceiling. And the lady said it wasn't working. She just wanted me to replace it. I went over and I looked at it, cleaned it, greased it, and all the issues that she was concerned with were gone. And she asked me, "Hey, what do I owe you?" I said, "Nothing. I can't charge you for this. It was too small. How can I take money from somebody for doing something like that?"
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Okay, can you remodel my basement?" And I said, "Absolutely." So, those little tiny something like that turned into what I have today. And it's still hard to say no to some of the small jobs. We are trying to focus on the remodeling, but it's hard to say no.
Yeah, and I say let's put a disclaimer out there, y'all. Just because don't just hit them up wanting them to come do something small, expecting it for free. I'll say that for you.
I wouldn't do it today.
All right, man. So I know you're out in Colorado, and I mean I already know the answer, but you're from Virginia. And we'll get into that, because that was an interesting story as to how we met. But you're not a Broncos fan, right? You're a Commander. I have to remind myself the name before I say it. A Commanders fan.
You know what? If we're on air, we'll go with that. But for me, there's only one name for that team.
Yeah. Hey,
I bleed burgundy and gold, man. It's hard to make a switch like that,
It is. That's what I'm saying. You have to really think about it. It's not even just like a city change. It's like an entire brand, minus the colors. And it looks like you guys have been making some moves, man.
Yeah.
I can't think of the big moves off the top of my head. I don't really follow the Commanders that much, but I know you did get rid of Carson Wentz. It definitely looks like you guys are going to be in a direction to maybe pick up a quarterback in the draft or bring in a free. Well, I don't know how many free agent quarterbacks, but how big of a Commanders fan would you say you are?
I mean, right now my focus is work. I don't have a whole lot of time for sports, especially off season. But I did check in today. We dropped Wentz. Heineke went to Atlanta, which is kind of cool. I love Taylor Heineke. Anybody who is any part of Washington football they know how special he is. The stats don't say it, the stature doesn't say it, but he brought something to the field, to the team that is pretty unique. So seeing him go to Atlanta is kind of sad, but I hope that he gets a shot, and I hope he can just kick ass somewhere else. But brought in Jacoby Brissett, which is an interesting pickup. It doesn't solve our quarterback problems, but it's something. It's better than our third stringer being a forced first stringer. So they're making moves. They know what needs to happen. I hope.
Right. We'll see. I feel like it's a make or break it year for Ron Rivera. But going back to your business though, you were saying, you guys kind of take on all jobs. So first, I guess I want to say, how can people reach you? First off, and then second, is it what's the process? Is it a consultation? Do they need to have like plans in order already, or does your design person help them come up with plans if they don't have anything, already drawn up?
Yeah, so first point of contact is the website. The website is a great resource for information. There's pictures, references, testimonials, description of services, kind of an explanation of how we work with you, basically spelling out the steps of what to expect. So first step website, there's a little contact form. And then we pick it up from there. We ask some in-depth questions. We have a one-on-one consultation, free call with me, and then we can set up a walkthrough. So a visit with the homeowners and Mary Sue, who's my right-hand gal, the architectural designer. We'll go look at the space, figure out exactly what the wants, needs, and priorities are, and then she can get started on some design work. Once the designs are approved or modified as many times, whatever. Then we can, dial in on some numbers and get the thing going.
Okay. Awesome. So, as we come up on spring, do you have like maybe any advice, for homeowners that they can do, maybe small things they can do around their home, or maybe check to make sure it's in good condition?
We deal with a lot of water damage from shower areas. Check your tile. look at your showers, check your tile, check your caulk. If the grout lines are broken or dirty, just look at that tile. If there's water damage, that is the worst thing for a house, whether it's coming in from the roof, bubbling up from the basement, or leaking out of your shower. Water is not a friend to your house. And if it's something that's in the shower, that's something that I have experience with, something I can help with. That for me, that's where I would start. Check the showers.
Okay, awesome, man. Like you said, check your showers, check your tiles for water damage. Those are, I feel like, definitely areas most people aren't looking the majority of the time, for sure. Everybody's trying to look up. No one's really looking down. So, just to, I guess, kind of bounce around a little bit, what really got you into doing renovations, man? Like, it sounds like it's something you love, grinding, busting your butt, 24/7 on it. What keeps you going?
It's a point of pride when you step back and look at something that you built and reminisce on what it used to be, or do a side by side before and after with photos. There's a feeling that you get, just like, yeah, we made that change, we did that. It's a point of pride. It all started. My dad was a carpenter when he was his whole life. That's all he's ever done. So when I was a kid, I'd watch him and learn what he was doing, and he's my role model. He's my hero. You know what I mean? So natural progression into this kind of makes sense. As much as my folks didn't want me to do this, they sent me to college. They were like, yeah, you're not going to break your back for a living. Go to school, use your head. And I am using both now, using my hand and my head. It's running a business, building stuff to be proud of, and, carrying on my dad's legacy.
There you go, man. That's what's up. I'm sure he's proud, or you'd be proud. As far as doing your jobs, I know you probably deal with a lot of homeowners. Is that more so your pace, or do you guys dive into like the investor fix and flip side, where you're working with investors to get maybe a time frame to get something done?
Yeah, I mean, we're used to deadlines and timeframes, but there's a difference between when you're working with somebody who's trying to flip a house or trying to turn a profit on it. They're expecting a different process. It's more of a get it done now rather than get it done good. And that's not really what we do. So working with homeowners directly, helping them bring their visions to life is really what we enjoy doing. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. You're right. It is a totally different style or train of thought, going into those two different processes. And definitely nothing wrong with having your niche in a certain side of the market, because, I mean, there's room for everyone out here, Cool, man. But, I think we got some really good information from you, I will touch on the story, and let people know how we met. It's cool. I think is actually through a really good friend of mine from the Marine Corps, Joseph, or Kirby, or Curlin, or one of his many names that he has. But either way, out from Virginia, he referred you to me, as a referral, and I thought that was really amazing. So you're from Virginia, I know you've been out here for a while, but to me, I personally think it is a big difference from Virginia out here, as far even just like the housing market is totally different. Do you feel like it's a difference between Virginia and here, or I guess I'm saying, which one do you think you prefer, Virginia or here?
I mean, I know that this is a little more than a which do you prefer. Virginia is where I grew up. I couldn't wait to get out of there. Northern Virginia specifically. People, a lot of times when you hear Virginia, you think of West Virginia. And that's what a lot of Virginia is. Don't get me wrong, but there's a few different parts of Virginia. The biggest part is Northern Virginia, which is a DC metro area. Hence, the Redskins loyalty and all that. But it's crazy out there, man. It's hustle, rat race. You're in the beltway of Washington, DC. It's not where I want to be. As a young kid, even as an adult, you couldn't pay me to go back there. Moved out to Colorado in 2004, and 2004 was a glorious time for Denver. It was still a little secret. It was Metro City, but it was a secret. After 2008, that secret got out, and it's been changing a lot. I still love it, but it's turning a little bit more into Virginia. It's just a lot of people about that hustle, and it's a little less laid back than it was. But I don't see myself going anywhere. I love Colorado. So which one do I prefer? There's no doubt in my mind. Colorado is my home, but grew up in Virginia. I can't shake that.
I hear you, man. I grew up in Florida. I lived in Virginia for a little bit in Northern Virginia. And you're right. I mean, it's nonstop. It's, all gas, no brakes. And Colorado has definitely picked up in the amount of movement around here. But I do feel like that hustle mentality is out here just not as crazy. People aren't as hectic about it. So I do love that too. And I love it out here as well. Um, well, man, shoot, I won't hold you up too much longer. I know you're up there in the mountains enjoying the snowstorm you guys got last night. I guess, I'll have you leave us with maybe, your website again, your contact info, and if there's anything else you want to leave us with.
I appreciate that. The website's www.homecpr.pro. CPR is Custom Professional Renovations. You can call me directly on my cell phone, 720-355-8810. But I'm just going to send you to the website. So go there first. I appreciate you having me on, Ced. I hope we could do it again, man.
Yeah, man. Oh, speaking of your title, I didn't even, mention, I know in that last one we had it, just basically how you got your name, that little nod over.
Oh yeah, CPR. My wife, she's a pharmacist, so she had to have something medical related. So she put together the logo, the name, and I love it. So here we go.
There we go. I love it too, man. Well, shoot, Jeff, it's been fun, man. Thanks for coming on. I definitely hope to have you back on again. If nothing else, thank you. You have a wonderful night, and shout out to everyone that's watching. Thank you guys for watching, stopping by Shady Sports Network. Again, you can go to shadysportsnetwork.com. You can find this show and others. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Well, cool, Jeff, man. You have a wonderful night, my dude.
See you, man.
Peace.